So I often joke and when I go out to like events or like I meet people and like, what do you do? I'm like, you've met the black hole. And so they're like, what are you talking about? And so I'm like, if you're looking for a job and you didn't get a call back, you're like, my resume went into a black hole. So I'm like, you've met the black hole. But I joke, and the reason that I say that is I think candidates really need to understand that it's typically like one person doing a lot of the screening for the resumes. So at the height of my career, I've had 120 recs, and I was managing 120 recs, which is nuts.
Manually, just by yourself?
Just by myself. I had an ATS, and so behind every requisition, I'm looking at anywhere between 30 to 40 to 50 candidates.
Wow.
So if you do the math on that, trying to call back every single person that said, I'm interested, right? It's just not, I would never hire anybody, right?
You didn't have any like electronic screening, like keyword, like?
So it did, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And so, I guess we'll touch on that a little bit later, but in terms of what I'm looking for on resumes, just like really like the basic stuff. And so I think you've probably talked to other recruiters in the past and they're like, man, 30 seconds, I'm looking at a resume. Does it pass the eye test? Right? Is the person in proximity to where the job is? Does the person have some of the skill sets that are needed for the opportunity? Do they meet the education qualifications? Those are really like, I'm looking at really like high level stuff.
Yeah.
If the person passes that initial eye test, then I can move it over to the, hey, I need to revisit that pile. If I'm just in the mode of like just screening, then it's like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, right? And then those yeses, I can say, hiring manager, take a look at this 5 to 7 and sell me yes, no. So I want to be able to do like just kind of like a high level piece and then pass along, like really take away the folks that just make no sense at all, right? And then pass along those folks that make some sense and see whether or not I've met the mark and I'm in sync with the hiring manager.
So calibrating, right?
Exactly.
Your own feedback from the hiring manager.
Exactly. Because really good recruiters, they're almost walking in the hiring manager's shoes when they're looking at resumes.
Right.
And so I think being a recruiter is like the closest thing that you can be to being a chameleon. Because if you're recruiting for multiple hiring managers, you have to think like multiple people,
right?
And see things that they would want to pick up in the resumes for the people that they're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.